Hello everyone and welcome to this Television 2 video. Today we are looking at a nice game between Jaapaasa and Herr from the FOB October/November monthly tournament. And this is a game 1 out of 3 where both players are fighting over the third place. So definitely excited for that. Let's hop in the decks right now. And we start off with Panzer, a division that I did not expect to be in the tournament because it usually is banned. Like most players ban this right away because it is one of the, if not the strongest Axis division that is currently in the game. However, that doesn't mean that you can play it on any map, and I am so very surprised because of this that we actually see this on Kostritsa. I'm not surprised that it hasn't been banned. I'm surprised to see it because well, the Panzer Grenadier, I mean, it's good infantry, and you have the Panzerschreck, so it can defend itself in the town against armor that is supporting the infantry. While this looks strong at first glance, the issue is that, well, usually, the way it works is, as I said, your infantry should beat other infantry, all the while they can defend themselves really nicely against armor that might support your opponent's infantry. However, in this scenario here, I don't think in the town fights that the Panzergrenadier will actually beat ATF's infantry. And if you see it like that, then it's all of a sudden not so great anymore. And the half tracks and the armor from Lair won't do all that much because, of course, ATF's infantry has tons of bazookas as well. So I just feel like it doesn't work out really well. Also, the division lacks CQC, and on Construita you also need a lot of CQC. It lacks light armor. It has some options there. It's not that it doesn't have them, but it doesn't have as many options in terms of light armor as you wish for. You can see it right in the deck, right? Most of it is Panther Force and Panthers, and that's just not the kind of units that you want to be using in towns. So yeah, I'm a little bit surprised, but anyway, Recon tab is nice. You have some light armor there, some out of Claire, so that's definitely nice to see. Infantry tab standard. You have the Panzer Grenadier, which is really nice, of course, with the Panzer Schreck and a half track, and still only for 30 points in total. So it's actually like the Grenadier is force and half track, but it costs only 25 point itself, 30 with the half track included. That's quite nice. Tank tab. I mean, as I said, Panzer Force and Panthers. You do have the Panzer 3H, which is a nice little addition there. And then, yeah, support tab, not a lot there, but the tools that you have are fine. It's getting expensive though, so that makes sense. AT tab, nice options there as well. Tomata, Pack 40, Panzer 4, only the A0 variant though. Panzerschreck definitely gonna be. Actually, no, I'm not sure if he really needs this if all his infantry has Panzerschrecks anyway. Can't hurt. I mean, well, it's kind of redundant. AA tab, interesting. There's definitely other options, but if he brings single 20 mils with either like a single 20 mil unit or in the Gepard and then some 88s, and then actually just Nebelwerfers and some Waters. Air Force, of course, very light, so you can't really take that big of an advantage of ATF's weakness in A-phase that much. And on the other side, we do have, of course, the mighty ATF, a division that used to be super feared and is still very strong in my opinion, so great to see that. Recon tab, the usual, you have some FFI Saboteur, Scouts, the Forceman Scouts of course, and then only in B phase we get the DM8. Infantry, some nice options there. He built it differently from the last time we've seen this when I think König played it, so the Chasseur Para, don't know what unit that is, but you will see the stats. Then some AV Rifle Forcemen and Forcemen B are in A phase, of course. Then B phase, we see the assault groups and more forcemen of different types, and then we round it off with some rifles late in C phase. Surprised that we don't actually see any AB rifles or glider rifles there, because I mean there's plenty of armor around in Panzer, so I would probably add some more there just so that you get some extra bazookas. Tank tab, Stewards and Shermans is pretty much the standard there, and then support, of course, you get the 75 mil, some Brownings, supply, and a 105. Tank tab, also pretty standard. M1 guns in A phase because this is the only thing you have that can kill tanks other than planes, and then some M10s in B and also C phase. But it makes sense because in C phase he has to expect a lot of tanks from Panzer, of course, so you want to have M10s there ready to deal with that. AA, I mean, since it only comes in B phase, you can add a little bit more veterancy, and you still get take 6, which is definitely nice. Artillery, it brings the mortar in A phase. We've had this discussion in the comments when Koenig played it, that he says since you can't protect it with your AA, it's kind of a waste of points. So I'm definitely curious to see if this is going to happen here, like if it's going to lose them or not. Artillery leader, of course, and then the 75 mil. This is such an annoying little unit. You get so many of them. They're fairly cheap, and they have radio, so you can go like, super spam with this, and it's so annoying to deal with. Like this can actually be quite strong if you wanna go the spam route there. It's so difficult. Air tap, Seafire, more Seafires with as fighter variants, and then you have a lot of AT planes and some fighter bombers, of course. So quite potent there as well. Okay, so we're back. Let's now look at the deployment. So Jaapaasa is on the bad side. Although I think it's a good map for him, and once again, I'm not really sure about Lair on this map, so I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. So down south, he goes aggressively for this flag. I have to assume what's pushing that far forward are going to be the Saboteur. That's definitely reasonable. And then on the other side, we also see early recon, by the way. And then on the other side, we do see a Guerrilla. I think this, yeah, that's what's going there, and an 88. Sorry, also going there, and then just some CQC and one card of Panzergrenadier rushing for this. So it looks like he's giving up this flag for now, because he already deploys defensively down here. He just pushes something forward to keep this flag. Pretty classic is no. The Jaapaasa is not trying to contest it. He also deploys defensively right here. And then in the town, see the aggressive push with the Flammenwerfer for this one, and the rest is really just a classic. I mean, he also has to be careful because, of course, the Panzergrenadier in their half track are slow. Puma is rushing forward though to do some transport sniping, so that might definitely hurt quite a bit there. And the rest of it is also very. That's interesting. I've never really seen deployment here. What's that? Is it? Okay, so it's bringing the Panzergrenadier from this side over there. Interesting. Never seen that. Okay. But yeah, also very defensively otherwise, just trying to make sure that he can hold the town. And up north, he's pushing. Not even trying to grab in this because I know that he's probably going to lose this. So just some flamethrowers right here to make sure that he can hold this forest bit, and then a tank to cover this whole thing off. On Jaapasa's side, he's not super aggressive. He tries to get in here with a Saboteur, I have to imagine. I'm not sure if that's going to get in though. And other than that, just yeah, trying to get in here, covering things off, make sure they can keep this flag, and then of course pushing here. Looks like he's also sending Saboteur forward to grab this, which is reasonable, but it's not super aggressive either. So both players look like they want to set up first and then decide where to go from there. I mean, because Street Side is really not that fair of a map, I feel like, because Blue side has it so much easier, can reasonably easily grab these three flags right here, while red side can realistically go for that one, but depending on the matchup, that can already be contested by blue side still. So it's relatively easy to pick up the 15-9 for blue side and very hard for red. You kind of have to push deep either in here at the start, or you have to manage to grab these two flags, which is a little bit of a stretch for sure. Yeah, Saboteur in traction does go down to the Puma, I think. I'm not sure if it would have gotten in before the tractions got nerfed, but now it definitely doesn't anymore. Traction Saboteur get in here. Well, unless they get microed to ground attack, they should lose against the flamethrowers though. Forceman definitely going to be super strong here. This flag's going to be hard to grab for Herr Robert. Jaapaasa brings it to 13-11 early on with grabbing this flag. First Focke-Wulf off the game already in going after the AT gun. Definitely a good target because of course this is what's going to be needed to stop the armor that is, the strength of Panzer, of course. Let's actually check. Yeah, okay, so this one has HE, but it doesn't have the APCR. See a 75 mil in right here already, and another one to cover this off. I mean, it can definitely kill tanks as well. Like, it should do well against, don't know what's the pen on this. I think it's 90, but yeah, so it should definitely kill all the armor that's there off. Saboteur is on a move attack order, so it's not gonna win. Oh, just kidding, I thought, yeah, it looked like it got the TNT off. Interesting. Was it bugged? Is that what happened? Half track's gonna go down, but the AT gun now has to reveal itself. Misses. That's bad. Focke-Wulf still flying around. I know, personally, I think we'll call it back now and then let it do another bombing run very, very quickly as well. Again, Forceman finding the MG. Something else had to have like hit this. I can't imagine that this one wins. I mean, it has Commando, which is broken. Or not as much as it used to, but still, I think the MG42 should win, shouldn't it? So Robert very defensively here, not really pushing. I mean, it's odd to see Herr Robert not on Vanguard. Yeah, but he does play balanced when the division really asks for it or the matchup. But seeing him on balanced is he plays Maverick. I think it's all as I said balanced. He plays Maverick if the division asks for it, but seeing him on balance is really odd. So Saboteur is in here, but not doing much. We do see AB engineers reinforcing this, so I guess the plan is to now start pushing forward and clear this out so that he can like establish himself here and then move forward into this flag there. I mean, he's on a single tick, which, considering that it is both players basically have the same income, is definitely nice for him. Robert being relatively passive. He's lost the 88 here to the ABM 1A1 gun. It doesn't. Oh, no, it has radar. So this is radar too. Didn't know that. I know that the AT guns have, and that's already disgusting. But I guess that's the reason why it lost so clearly, and the guerrilla didn't really do much to stop it. Forceman and Forceman BR force off the Panzergrenadier, and now moving forward. I mean, against these they should struggle. It still has a surprising amount of firepower for not being a CQC unit, but it's not a CQC unit, so it should still lose. Then again, Champignions are really bad, and this thing has Commander on top of it as well. I still think it should be losing. This one, if it's micro well, should get the TNT off. Yeah, now it's ground attacking. Did it throw it though? I'm not sure. No, it did not. I mean, he had to run because otherwise it would have gotten surrendered. Still gets surrendered anyway, so that's bad. I mean, it's an expensive unit. It's what, 35 points? 35 points. Yeah, it's not exactly cheap. So things relatively quiet. We do see reinforcements down south though, so I'm not really sure if Robert is just trying to build another line of defense here or if he's preparing the next attack. The way he's spreading them out tells me that's more of a defensive line. I mean, he kind of has to know that he's not going to get back in here unless he can suppress everything and just move in, because the CQC will lose. Like, it's guaranteed to lose in that fight. AB engineers pushing in. It's an interesting little unit. It's having M1s over bolt action rifles that other divisions would get, like other factions would get, it's definitely a help. And it's chunky, but it's still not the greatest unit in my opinion, like when it comes to CQC. Better than the flamethrower. 2-on-1 though, flamethrower is just so squishy. So do see 20 mils in now, but there's no airplay so far by Jaapaasa. Is holding back. We do see the Focke-Wulf coming in for the AB rifles right here. We do see a Seafire, two Seafires, so always forget that the other one is also Seafire. Just the recon and the non-recon version. I think that should be able to catch up and kill it. What's the speed on this? Definitely lower than the Seafires then. 20 mils doing that job though. Seafire is probably gonna get out. This one is called off, so it's not gonna catch it. I mean, if you fly directly over it, might actually get the kill. No, it doesn't. Yeah, 20 mils are just bad. And south, ooh man, Jaapaasa's massive blob now pushing forward. The AB engineers is what he needs here against these. He doesn't technically need it, but it makes his micro a lot easier because he doesn't really have to take care of it that much. Forceman should easily win against the Panzergrenadier because of, well, not if they get suppressed by the bombing run. All of this should now be forced back. He needs to retreat now. So nice little bombing run there. That actually hurt quite a bit. 107 now going after the 20 mil. I mean, if your passer can clear out her Robert's AA early on, that's going to be a super big issue for her Robert. But that's the advantage of having the, what's it called? The Gepard later, because this one you can move. Chasseur Para paying off big time here. I mean, he's grabbing this flag for free. It's not as firm hold. Like, putting anything here will stop that. But for having only paid 20 points for it, I think it's worth it. Now we see the first plane in from Jaapaasa. What's he going after? The Shrimpan, yeah. Yeah, I mean, this thing can get suppressed by the 20. Oh no, the 88 here helped. So both 88s are already out. Um, one has died, one's still alive, and then we have the 20 mils here. Still wasn't able to stop this in time, though. That's unfortunate. Maybe it was just unloaded. I don't know. I haven't seen it actually. 107 now going after the 88, but this is not in radio range. It failed to kill a 20 mil. Didn't even hit it. Panzergrenadier here getting suppressed by the forced man. AB engineers are forced off one flamethrower, second one's under fire now, but there's nothing to deal with these half tracks, so they're just going to be there and going to be super annoying. Let's just have Barra down here. I know what's the plan with that. And okay, so one to reinforce this. That makes sense. Oh, look at that. The 107 actually got some good hits. 88 is down in health a little bit. Still alive though, not suppressed. So we need to do some more work there. One Sherpenny is still alive. I mean, the Forceman BAR at 2 health might be able to kill this. Should be. Yeah, it is. But it lost 2 men in return. So it's, once again, this is not really a CQC unit. But I guess against the Sturmpinier on low health, it will do. It's not in bazooka range for the SDKF set, though. They can't really do much now. So he's sitting in this forest, but he can't get out. The town, there's another blob of infantry right here, so that should definitely win against what's here. Problem is the armor here, of course. 107. Oh, I think that was a misclick, I have to imagine. Happened to me as well sometimes. So I can understand. He just needs to react in time to prevent it, because of course he definitely didn't want it to move there. Recon now coming in. Don't know where this is supposed to go. Maybe he wants to like sneak it through here. I have to imagine that this is the plan. Focke-Wulf now coming in. It's going after the AB rifles. Could have been super cheeky and tried to go for the mortar, but I guess now that he knows that the Seafires are out there, it's better not to, because then you're gonna have to turn and the Seafire can just get onto your back. So good that he didn't, because I mean, if he stays close, like first of all, Jaapaasa knows that he needs to get there to catch the Focke-Wulf first, and that might not happen. And then there's the AA as well that can kind of intercept it, like force it off. So if you stay relatively close to your A, you should be safe with your bombing runs. But we are now into B phase, so Jaapaasa has unlocked his income advantage, and we also see the first AA gun right away. 2 AA pieces. So he's waited long for this, then, I have to imagine. I mean, there's another Focke-Wulf coming right again. It's going after the 50 cal. It doesn't really show correctly, but I assume it's going to be the 50 cal. Yeah, looks like it. No, just kidding. It's going after the AB rifles. Mortar half track now in. So both players just slowly building up forces. Jaapaasa, of course, very happy with the situation, because he's holding this, and I think he's a firm grip on this as well. So he can be happy with how things are looking. Supply now going for the 107, as it is running low on HE. It's going after the church tower now. Yeah, I mean, it's always a safe guess that there's recon in the church tower, so it makes sense to go after that. Gets the kill. Church tower is still not destroyed yet. No, it is not. So you could put something else in there once again. It is only 2 Aufklärer because they are both at double vet, so there's no more recon units. Still not as much going on as I would have expected. Another P-51 strike in, and still the same. So Jaapaasa hasn't really invested that much into his air force. But I mean, the tools that he has are great. Going after this Panzer Grenadier, I'm not sure, because I don't think that Jaapaasa is going to be able to push further here anytime soon. So I think there's better targets for this. Like, I don't think it was worth bombing this. And I mean, having a great air force is not super useful if you spend, like, if you use it on bombing things that don't really have that big of an effect on the game. But yeah, because now he's pushing here, and I think there's better targets right here. On the other hand, he might just be aware that there's AA here, and he is like afraid that it might be too much AA, so he's rather use his plane somewhere where it can do damage, rather than somewhere where he knows that he will just get forced off. It might also be a way of thinking, because now Robert has bought another Panzerschreck to defend, so in that way, it still paid off. I still think he could have had more of an impact where he wanted to push, but as I said, maybe he's afraid that he might lose it here and decides that he'd rather just force a trade there, a good one, than risking not trading well here by either losing the plane or just sending it in without achieving anything. 81 mil mortar now going after the 75 mil, but 75 mil is on the move. 107 in the meantime, focus on this Panzergrenadier here. Might actually take the half track with it. Is it in radio? Yeah, it is in radio range of this leader right here, so it should definitely get some good hits down. And of course now the armor has been unlocked, so the armor is ready to come in. Focke-Wulf, he has to be careful, there's buffers. He's brought the double vetted ones, which are definitely going to do super well. That's risky. Although this doesn't have the greatest line of sight, so I think the Focke-Wulf's going to get out. Another one is now redirected down south, because of course up north he knows that he's not going to get through anymore, but down south there's no AA yet, so he can still do a nice little airstrike there. He's trying to push back in with some Sturm Pioneer. I mean, with what's here might actually work if the plane helps. Like, if he gets a bombing run here, suppress these things, and then moves forward with Sturm Pioneer, should be able to grab this back. 105 now in the center, so weirdly enough, Jaapaasa decides to pick the fight in the center, which is definitely where, you know, Herr Robert is strong. Nebelwerfer, that's expensive. It's going after the 75 mil with the leader though. He knows, he has to know that it's there, because otherwise you wouldn't center it like that with the targets both at the edge. So nice little strike there, because I mean you get a lot of value out of that one if the rockets land well, which they do not. Kill 75 mil, but the Sherman survives. 107 has been suppressed quite a bit, so it looks like there was some counter battery going on by the 81 mil. Yeah, there is. Oh, and it looks like forcemans were unloaded because, or no, he didn't put them there deliberately, did he? I feel like they must have been unloaded by accident because they were driving through. Yeah, they were definitely unloaded by accident, so that's unfortunate. Gepard now in down south. I mean, that's the advantage, right? You can support your 88s and these cheap 20 mils with a Gepard, and you don't have to invest very heavily into one place at any time with your A's. I guess that this is the reason why I bring it. I do see the reasoning there. I'm not usually a fan of single 20 mils, but I do think in B phase with the Gepard and its mobility, the Gepard is actually an okay tool. Wouldn't rely solely on this, but it is a nice little addition there, that's for sure. Stewards moving in, definitely nice to like take out some of these half tracks, but of course they have to be careful because of all the panzer tracks that are going to be everywhere, so it's not the most cost-effective tool necessarily in this matchup. But of course, I'd rather risk one of these than the Sherman against a Panzergrenadier with a panzer track. Like that's, I think that's no question. Oh, assault group goes down to the 88, finds a little cheeky transport kill there. 107 now going after, I don't know, the 88 after match. It's on a move attack order once again, so another misclick there. Both as well? No, just the Forceman. This one's still just chilling there. 59 though for Jaapaasa as he pushes, I want to say push or move, got that out of it, as he pushes forward into this flag, and he grabbed this one with the AB engineers there, still holding that one down south, so things not looking super good for Robert. The Jagdpanzer for a 0 should do okay here actually, still has to be careful because of all the bazookas though. Focke-Wulf gets the bombs off despite the AA, but he's smoking. Might lose this. Oh, just barely makes it out alive. That was a close one. Now we see the first bow fighter coming in. Yeah, I mean, the Jagdpanzer 4 is definitely an issue. The M1 gun can technically pen it, I think, but it's going to be struggling quite a bit. Let's find one. It's the same unit, basically. Yeah, 115, this has 110, if I'm not mistaken. So it's technically able to pen, but it's not really going to happen at max range. Both fighters, though, will easily get the kill there. Both fighters are actually decent AT planes, so it's not bad. Turns away from the A, which is quite nice as well. More reinforcements coming in, not a Bofus for the center. It's quite far back, though. I'm not really sure if it's going to do much. I guess he's mostly afraid about losing the 105. No, he just wants to have it here. I mean, we've seen in a recent game what happens when you don't unload your A. But, I mean, those were two, well, not top players. And with a top player, I don't think you can pull that off. Because you're going to get punished for that. 75 mil, yeah, now we see, now the 75 mil spam starts. Going after the 88, but the 88 is on the move, so it's mostly missing. Hasn't really done all that much damage yet. The other one died, so that's a problem, because these are, of course, expensive. Assault group here, shredded by all the MG42s, by infantry and armor. Stuart here finds 20 mil, that's bad, but it's gonna get killed by the Panzergrenadier very quickly. More reinforcements coming in. We are still in B phase, so there's still Robert's still not, you know, he still has to fight with the income disadvantage that he has, and it's not looking good currently. The problem is, once he passes in here, there's not much that Robert can do other than artillery and airstrikes. Because the Panzergrenadier, while they can fight off light armor, in the town fight are not the best unit, of course. The light armor that they come with doesn't stand a chance against all the bazookas in ATF. And yeah, his armor also, he can't really go in with armor there as well. P-51 now gets a nice bombing run on the Puma. Doesn't kill it though. 1410 now as Robert regrabs this flag. Reinforcements here already coming in with the Forceman. Oh, more transport sniping by the Puma. That's rough. So Jaapaasa realized that that was there, targeted with his fighter bomber, and then continued to move the units through there. And that's not a super good play. We missed an Applewerfer strike. I think it didn't go after this because everything here is pinned. Jaapaasa needs to be careful. He needs to call some of these back, otherwise they might get surrendered. Oh, AB Rifle's gonna fight a kill here on the SAKF side. Ah, that's bad. More Forceman opening up now. Nah, not looking super good. Driller smoked off by what? These or these? This still has all the smoke. I mean, it's next to supply, so I don't know. Something smoked this off. 75 mil going after the 88 once again. I mean, it might eventually hit. They're in. It's in radio range, so. P-51 going after this. It's not going to bring in the flag back just yet, but the Forceman BR can kill off this with the bazooka. Then it's going to get it back. Ooh, well, the wall of 20 mil might actually be able to kill this. It's smoking. Does it go down? It's going to get out, but it's also, I think it's also a very close call, like the other one that we saw on Robert's side, so. Oh, 105 has found the, no. Oh, the 75 mil here, that found the 88. It's going after that too. 105 versus Gorilla. It's going to be somewhat of a wet noodle fight. None of these are really great at killing the other. Down south, still sitting as they were. Like nothing has happened here basically at all. 75 mil is now suppressed, but this one has already opened up as well. It's going after the MG42, though, I have to imagine. This should be out of range. Yeah, it's going out after the MG42. Okay. Grile falling back. Robert has decided that it is not the fight he wants to take. More armor pulling in. The problem is the AB rifles with their bazookas are already here. We are in C phase now, though. So Robert gets his good income. Problem is Jaapaasa has, you know, some flags firmly secured, and all he needs to do is hold them. The one that's probably going to fall the earliest might be this one. That one's going to be really hard to get back into for Herr Robert because he really doesn't have the CQC for it. Same thing for this one, really. Yeah, this one's probably the best back. But once again, he's not super strong in forest fights either. M10 has used the APCR, so the Panther should be able, once it moves forward, should be able to take that out relatively easily. It's going after something else now, though. Don't know what it spotted. Maybe the Forcemen? Yeah, the Forcemen, I guess. But they're falling back now, as they are under fire by the armor here. Assault group spotted out. Ooh, takes a lot of suppression. Forcemen BR here also suppressed. Yeah, the armor here has to be careful. If they move a little bit further forward, they're gonna get killed off by the AB rifles. Or Jaapaasa just pops out of the building, decides to move forward and shoot them. That's of course also gonna work. Focke-Wulf gets the bombs off. Can't save the Panzer III here that just died. And the problem is there's another one right here. So the half-track that's gonna move in should die before he can surrender it, I have to imagine. Oh no, this one is not in the right position. More infantry pushing forward. Now it goes down to the Forceman leader. That one has bazooka as well. Everything here is a lot of things have bazookas in the stacks. That's super annoying. 88 still alive. I mean, this is a survivor. Survival specialist there. But not looking good for a robot. I don't think that he can turn it around, to be honest. Like, this is not looking good. It's just taking apart everywhere. But that was honestly kind of what I expected. Like, if you look at this matchup, I was really not sure how a Robert planned on winning this, to be honest. Because he just doesn't have the CQC. He's just not good enough in the town fight compared to ATF, I feel like. The open is where he can easily get control, but the problem is that if you still have plenty of woods here where you can sit in, and the guns all have radar traits, so you have to make sure they stay out of range. Should still be able to work himself into some flags here. You can actually pressure this if you control the open here as well, so it's not like he can't do anything. Problem is if he wants to move like here where he can get an angle on this nicely, then he has to expose himself to this, so he has to make sure that he has infantry moving forward here as well. Just gonna take some work. It's not impossible though. Grille versus 105, round 2. Can one of these kill the other? Grille moving away behind cover, so that's sad. I would have loved to see this resolved. Now we see push down south, so some units have been called back. There was an airstrike going in here, I have to imagine. M8 is going to stop that, and Panzergrenadier, of course, in the woods, not going to stand a chance against the Forceman. This Forceman BR should be able to kill off this SDK set. Bow fighter 105 finally lost, but to the Panther A. Bow fighter called in, but the spread of the rocket was too big with all the AA going on here. Might actually lose this. It's flying over a lot of AA. Another bombing run down south wasn't enough though. 17-7 should go back. I mean, this flag should go back. No, it does not. Damn. Bow fighter made it out alive. Wow. Crazy. Yeah, I mean, Robert now grabbing this one as well, as he managed to move forward. Because once again, the town fight is just not that great from Panzerlehr. At least not against this division, with all the bazookas. So Kevsat and Gepard are going to do a nice job at infantry. I mean, now there's not that many bazookas left, actually, because most of these are regular forcemen, then you have the rifles late. You have one forceman BAR here. That's what's actually dangerous here, but the problem is there's not much armor left here now, so that the Sherman can actually now do some work. Has to stay clear of the Panzer Grenadiers though. But it's 20 minutes basically left for her up, and it's just not going to be enough, and it looks like Jaapaasa is going to take the win. Not a Nebelwerfer strike going after this. Yeah, there's nothing here, unfortunately. The blob is a little bit further to the left. Sherman goes down, but it doesn't matter anymore. 5 seconds on the clock, and Jaapaasa takes the win in game 1. I mean, nicely executed game there by Jaapaasa, but of course, I mean, there is a massive disadvantage in the matchup here. So I'm not really sure. I don't know. I'm really curious why Robert picked this division, to be honest, because I don't know why you would do that. Like, it wouldn't be my first pick for this map, and I would definitely not counter pick it into ATF. I do not think that it's a good matchup. I'm also surprised that ATF hasn't been banned for this map. Like, it would definitely be one of the divisions that I would have banned. So, interesting game though. I mean, yeah, look at that. Forceman BR just cleaned house. The stewards. I mean, yeah, if there's half, I mean, The half tracks here are not that big of a loss, to be honest, because they're basically for free anyway on top of your unit. But I mean, it still matters that you lose them. Like having them or not having them does make a difference. You kinda pay for them in other ways, right? The price you pay for having half tracks is being slow because the half tracks are super slow. Now, usually this is a trade-off that you can decide what that if you want to take it or not. But in this division, you really don't have the choice because you are forced to take it. So it's you kind of pay with speed instead of points, and that's fair, really. But it makes the division super strong. Before that, it used to be 35 points for the whole combination, and that was a little bit too expensive, to be honest. More Forcemen doing well, yeah, I mean, that was to be expected. On the other side, the Nebelwerfer got some nice kills, so that's definitely great. Focke-Wulf, unfortunately, did just not do enough until the AA arrived. The Puma, yeah, that did some transport sniping. I'm really surprised that this worked out so well because Jaapaasa, I mean, he knew that it was there, even targeted it. Got a lot done, and then of course Gepard, yeah, I mean, the Gepard at infantry support is actually quite nice. It can really shred through infantry, and as long as it stays clear of bazooka range, then it will do fine. But yeah, great game to both players. Curious now for the next game, so yeah, hope you enjoyed it as well. See you all in the next one. Have a great day.